Welcome to the Thunder and Lightning Show. Today we're going to talk about the Sunday obligation and whether that has gone the way of the dinosaur. So, Brett, I want to turn it over to you. Will the Sunday obligation return?
No.
All right, I think that's the end of the show, right?
Exactly. Yes, the bishops will at some point crawl out from under the rock and say, yes, you must return to Sunday Mass. You must. You must. And if you don't, we will shake our finger at you vigorously because we don't want to be mean. And I don't know what they're going to do because I guess at some point they will really reinstate it, but will anybody come?
I don't know that they'll even reinstate it, actually, because how can they at this point? I mean, they've lost their credibility.
Yeah.
But what are they going to say? We're going to require you to come, but you have to wear a mask. So what if people actually have a legit medical condition where they can't wear a mask? Then they can't come. And so they say, well, we need to, I guess, bend the rules for the exception. And a lot of people. So I don't see a scenario in which it does come back. What about you, Ryan?
It's probably going to be a while because we're living through the blessed and eternal virus, which, as that Mexican cardinal who got canceled knows, you dare not speak against the virus. He said they're promising this thing's going to be around for several years, so it's probably not going to be until the triumph of the Immaculate Heart that we get the Sunday obligation back, which who knows, what's that going to be, in a year, 10 years, whatever. Because the mainstream bishops, their number one priority is the virus and appeasing Caesar. It may come to the point where they say to themselves, well, we're not making enough money, so we need to tell people to come back. But they've lost everybody. The only people that are coming back, they're already attending. The people who believe in the Mass and want to attend Mass are the people who are attending right now. Maybe in those dioceses where they have the Mass canceled, like in the UK, like in New Mexico, where they have that virus archbishop, or archvirus bishop, whatever he is, Wester. Whenever he decides to allow his priests to actually do priest things again, maybe those people want the Mass, but we don't know. They're locked inside their homes.
Well, and I think that in terms of financial aspect of the diocese, I think they're going to be pretty well off for the next 4 years. But then after that, who really knows? So, because my thought was, the bishops are going to be very desperate for money, but now I'm like, I don't think so, because they're very close to the Democratic Party, and that's who will supposedly have power for the next several years. So, and I don't know. Now, the one thing, did you have something to say?
Well, I did want to mention Father D'Souza wrote an article about the return of the Sunday obligation, and he compared it to the absence of Friday abstinence. The absence of abstinence. That's exactly what he did. He said...
I have the quote right here.
Yes, please.
That's a train going down the tracks upstairs.
Yeah, don't mind that. We're perfectly fine. The quote is, I have been served meat on Fridays at apostolic nunciatures, watch a bishop scarf down bacon and eggs on Friday morning, stood in line behind priests in Friday buffet lines where a meat option was available and much availed of, and been at Catholic schools where the cafeteria serves meat on Friday or even Ash Wednesday. Which, by the way, I know there were several bishops this past Lent who waived the Meatless Friday requirement during Lent. They said, you don't have to bother, because of the virus, you don't have to bother abstaining from meat on Fridays in Lent. Are you serious? Do these people not have pasta in their houses that they can boil and pour some meatless pasta sauce on it?
Tomato soup?
I don't know. Cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Let's not be... You already banned us from Mass. Now let's not be Catholic at all.
Wasn't Zubik one of those?
Bishop Zubik in Pittsburgh was one of them.
What does Frank Walker call him? The French kisser?
Yes.
Yeah.
French kisser.
But it's crazy. But I think that it's possible that this is, the obligation has gone the way of Meatless Fridays, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with it, traditionally, Fridays out of any day of the year, except for Christmas, were meatless. So you're required to abstain from meat on Fridays. And if you do that in your life, then when it comes to Lent, Meatless Fridays, you're going to say, oh, that's pretty wimpy, because I can do a lot more than that. I mean, that's just doing the same thing that I've already been doing. So it conditions you for more fasting.
And it's a sign when you're out eating or out socializing and eating, and they say, "Hey, have that burger." "No, I can't have a burger today." "Why not?" "It's Friday." "Well, what's about Friday?" "Oh, there's your opening." And there's your cross too, and they go, "Ha ha! You think you're Catholic?"
Oh, and it happens more than I would
Yes,
like.
it happens a lot.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching. We are the laity.
And we will not be silent.